In today's video, I'm going to take an old Gigabyte motherboard and turn it into some computer room wall art. Check it out. Hey everybody, my name is Andrew, and as I mentioned in the intro, I'm going to take an old Gigabyte motherboard and turn it into some office wall art. This particular motherboard I purchased in 2009, and there's nothing fancy about it. It's just an entry-level gaming board by Gigabyte that gave me many years of good service. In fact, it lasted me right up until November of last year. So it's been just kind of kicking around in the box, and just recently, over the last few months, I redid the office here, redid the computer, and I've been kind of looking for some art and decor for the office that was kind of cool. And I really haven't found anything that I really loved, and so I thought, I'm going to take that old motherboard and maybe just stick it up on the wall and do something cool with it. Anyways, this video, I thought I'd show you what I did with it. I hope you enjoy it, and check it out. Thanks. So to begin this project, I went to Lowe's and just bought a single sheet of acrylic along with a cutting tool, and I just measured it out and cut all of the little plates individually out of these little strips. And nothing too crazy, just got to take your time like everything else. Once I had that main piece measured, I just drilled a few holes there to put the standoffs in. I didn't do all of the holes, just 4 of them. Doesn't need a lot of strength, and the motherboard doesn't work, so you're not worried about that. Just enough to put the standoffs in and get it to hold down on there. I've still got the protective covering on the plexiglass here, that's why it's got kind of that goofy look, but we'll remove that later once it's all ready to go. And we'll go ahead and do a test fit here, make sure everything looks good, and then remove that motherboard, and I'm going to glue these down just with a little bit of tester's glue to just give it some strength in there. I do own a Cricut machine, believe it or not, so I used it to print out all of the labels for the acrylic just with some outdoor vinyl. It does a really good job at that, and was actually really easy to put the Gigabyte logos in there and get them cut. After you get the vinyl cut, next thing you want to do is what they call weeding, which is just removing all of the excess vinyl off of there. Nothing difficult, just got to take your time doing it. And as you can see here, that Cricut machine cuts it really, really well. And again, these were really easy to get on there through their design software. I'm weakening up this transfer tape here. Out of the package, that transfer tape from Cricut is just way too sticky. It's tough to remove it. So putting it on that microfiber cloth weakens it up, makes it more usable. So at this point, we just got to go through all the pieces, put the transfer tape on, and then once it's ready, we'll apply it to the acrylic plates. Just remove it with the vinyl, and nothing difficult here. You just got to take your time, try to get it lined up as best you can. I'm not going for perfection here, so just want to make it look good. And we'll squeegee that down, make sure we got a secure connection. And then remove the transfer tape. It's not perfect, but it looks pretty good. There you go. And we'll go ahead and do the rest of them here. There wasn't anything that I specifically wanted on these plates other than just a few things that you might be interested in when you're looking for a motherboard. I did put the North Bridge and the South Bridge, and got to get AMD in there. And once that's done, I just lay it all out here, make sure I kind of know where I want them. I'm going to use some standoffs to raise these up above here. To do that, I bought these acrylic rods, and we'll just cut a bunch of equal lengths and then glue those all to the pieces. And just use this acrylic glue here. It's kind of nasty stuff, so I put a glove on the one hand, but and we'll just glue a couple of standoffs to each plate. put 4 of them on the main Gigabyte logo here. That glue sets up pretty quick, so it's relatively easy to work with. Got that Shadowbox from Michaels, and now that I've got all the pieces ready, I've just used some basic colored cardstock for the background, which looked pretty good. Go ahead and put the first piece of acrylic down, remove all the protective backing, and put the motherboard on. And then we'll just take our time and glue all of these acrylic pieces down. And do a quick test fit. Got to have the model number in there, you know. Of course, a release date to give you an idea of how old the board is. I've always liked using AMD. They're all good, but AMD's been good to me. And this final piece here, when the board failed, it was just a no-post situation, and what I found was the CPU power connector had just melted to the board. Not sure exactly what the cause was. I replaced all of it at that point, but it was just unique the way that it melted, so I thought I'd throw it in there. But well, there you go. I think it turned out pretty good. Well, there you have it, everybody. I think this particular project turned out well. I really enjoyed doing it, and it's exactly what I was looking for the office wall back there. So I really hope you enjoyed watching this video. I've got lots more wall space back there to fill, and I've got more ideas coming. I think next I'm going to tear apart some old hard drives and do a project with those and get it up on the wall. So check back often, and hopefully I'll get those up here in a couple of weeks. Thanks again.